It looked like ESPN just told the shocking truth as to why Sandy Brondello was let go by the New York Liberty. Guys, for this one here.
Okay, this is wild. ESPN just dropped a huge bombshell about why Sandy Brondello got fired. And seriously, fans are absolutely losing it right now. We're talking about the Liberty's all-time winningest coach, fresh off a championship, suddenly shown the door. And now we know the real reasons. And trust me, they are messy. They are wild. And this story, it's about to change everything we thought we knew about the WNBA's future.
The New York Liberty have let go Sandy Brondello. Well, in their terms, they will not renew her contract. In our eyes, they parted ways. She was fired, essentially. But not as bad as being fired, I guess. But that's just how we talk out here. Nonetheless, I'm shocked. She's been a coach there for 4 seasons. You look at the past 3 seasons, she made it to the finals in her 2nd season. She won the finals in her 3rd season, and they lost in round 1 this year. Outside looking in, you look at this franchise and you see that's a successful franchise. New York is a powerhouse in the W right now. So what is the issue? What is the front?
The New York Liberty have let go Sandy Brondello. Well, in their terms, they will not renew her contract. In our eyes, they parted ways. She was fired essentially, but not as bad as being fired, I guess. But that's just how we talk out here. Nonetheless, I'm shocked. She's been a coach there for 4 seasons. You look at the past 3 seasons, she made it to the finals in her 2nd season, she won the finals in her 3rd season, and they lost in round 1 this year. Outside looking in, you look at this franchise and you see that's a successful franchise. New York is a powerhouse in the W right now. So, what is the issue? What is the front office?
Winning the title, what exactly led to the parting of ways between the Liberty and Sandy Brondello here?
Well, Malika, I know you guys talk about this a lot in the NBA and in other sports, but it was really championship or bust for New York and for Sandy Brondello. And in fact, if they hadn't won the championship last year, we might have been having this conversation a year ago, which is maybe a little startling to fans outside, given how, excuse me for those noises, for how impactful she'd been for that franchise. But that is how bullish this organization is in New York and how their ownership and management really are looking to just continue upon that.
So, the headline drops and ESPN, ESPN is the one breaking this insane news. Sandy Brondello, the most successful coach in Liberty history, is gone just 1 year after delivering a championship. Fans, myself included, are literally rubbing our eyes, thinking, wait, is this a typo? But no, this isn't some crazy dream. This is the WNBA showing us just how absolutely ruthless front offices can get when power plays and pure egos start running the entire show. We have to break down exactly what ESPN revealed here. Because let me tell you, this isn't just about basketball anymore. This is about deep politics, intense pressure, and, honestly, a franchise that's trying to act way bigger than the entire league itself. Get this, according to ESPN, this firing wasn't some rash, emotional decision after one slightly disappointing playoff run. Oh no, this was brewing for a while. That's right, Sandy Brondello could have been out last year if she hadn't won the title. I mean, talk about championship or bust, literally.
And so I think for New York moving forward, I would expect them to really, again, be bullish in who they go after. We know that they are a WNBA franchise that invests a lot in a lot of resources, a lot of financial, capital into these decisions. So I think it wouldn't be shocking, though, if they decide to go after maybe someone in the NBA, someone that we might be a little bit more of a non-traditional hire. I do think Sandy Brondello has a great shot of getting hired again. We know what she has done in this league. We know that there's openings in Seattle, for example, in addition to the 2.
Now, I don't know about you, but seriously, how does that even make a lick of sense? You bring in a coach, she completely rebuilds your entire franchise, takes you to places you've literally never been before, racks up more wins than any other Liberty coach in history, actually wins you a championship, and your big thank you gift is a pink slip? What? That's like if you ordered the most amazing steak, ate every single bite, and then sent it back to the kitchen because the plate wasn't warm enough. It's absolutely ridiculous. And guess what? ESPN pretty much confirmed that it makes no sense at all.
With ESPN to give us an update as to why Sandy Brondello will let go. And what's crazy about all of this in this interview that I'm about to show you guys is that Sandy Brondello was supposed to be fired last year, but she actually won the WNBA championship.
Liberty just fired their head coach. People are confused as to why, because they won the championship last year. They made the playoffs this year. In sports, there's always a scapegoat when things aren't going the way that they wanted it to go. Clearly, in New York, the standard has been raised. As Coach Tibbs learned with the New York Knicks, making the playoffs does not guarantee that you are safe anymore. They have raised the standard. They're sending a message to the fans, to the team, saying, we don't want to just go to the playoffs. We need to go to the finals and we need to win. So if it's not the players on the court that are changing, it's got to be the coaching staff. So unfortunately, that did mean Coach.
And get this, according to ESPN's insider Alexa, management basically made up their minds before the playoffs even started. It was title or else. That means if New York didn't clinch back-to-back championships, Sandy Brondello was out. Just let that sink in for a second.
You never want to see a player get injured, and a player like Caitlin coming back has had a few injuries this year. She's a great player. It would have been good for our crowd to see her, but hopefully they get to see her after post All-Star. We get to play them again. As for the All-Star, I'm excited to get to know her a little bit. I think that's the part of the All-Star. It's going to coach players that you haven't coached before and get them to know them a little bit and enjoy the whole celebration.
So, even though she literally delivered them their very first championship in franchise history, she was being judged on whether she could repeat it immediately. The bar was set so unrealistically, impossibly high, that the only logical outcome was, well, failure. It's honestly almost comical when you think about it. Other franchises? They are literally begging for a coach with her resume. 40 playoff wins, multiple titles with different franchises, known for getting players to completely buy in without ever becoming a dictator. Yet New York looks at that incredible resume and just shrugs, yeah, thanks, but we're looking for someone else. It's like firing a chef right after he earns you your first Michelin star, simply because the garnish on dish number 6 wasn't quite photogenic enough. And the timing? Exposes the WNBA's weird, almost desperate obsession with chasing NBA-style headlines without having anything close to the same infrastructure. The Liberty are acting like they're the Lakers firing a coach after failing to three-peat. Newsflash, folks, you're not. You're in a league that's still fighting tooth and nail for market share, still trying to convince casual fans that phenomenal stars like Caitlin Clark are absolutely worth watching. What you need is stability, not this kind of self-inflicted chaos. And speaking of Caitlin Clark, listen, we cannot ignore how this connects directly to her. Caitlin has already completely shifted the power balance in the WNBA. She's in her second year now, not just the rookie hype story anymore, but actually becoming the face of the entire league. Everything she does gets magnified 1,000 times over, and here's the thing, when someone like Sandy Brondello praises her, or even just acknowledges her monumental impact, it totally makes the old guard uncomfortable. Suddenly, the politics of who gets credit start to matter more than actual wins. And that, my friends, is exactly what ESPN hinted at but didn't say outright. Brondello's openness about praising Caitlin and acknowledging her seismic effect on the league? That rubbed certain powerful people the absolute wrong way. The Liberty, they want their stars like Breanna, Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu to be the uncontested faces of the team and, dare I say, maybe even the entire league. So, having a coach recognize Caitlin's massive cultural impact just doesn't quite fit the "we're the center of the universe" brand the Liberty have been trying so hard to sell, and this right here is where it gets spicy. Breanna Stewart, the team's superstar, only signed a one-year deal. What does that mean? It means she could totally walk. Now, imagine this scenario: the Liberty fire their championship coach to try and prove some bizarre, strange point, and in that process, they completely alienate the very star who brought them undeniable credibility. ESPN even floated the idea that Stewart could jump ship. And if that happens, New York goes from being a powerhouse to an instant rebuild, literally overnight. That's the insane gamble they're taking. And honestly, it's mind-boggling. Meanwhile, players across the league are already speaking out. Becky Hammon, one of the most respected coaches in the game, flat out said she didn't like the move. That matters, folks. When someone of her stature basically calls your decision trash without using the word trash, you should probably rethink your entire life. But are the Liberty listening? Nope. They're too busy pretending to be grand chess masters while actually just flipping the entire board over. And then there's the colossal question, who replaces Sandy? ESPN even suggested the Liberty might look outside the WNBA, maybe it's some NBA assistant. Hey, New York loves those big splash moves, right? The ultimate irony in all of this?